Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to do the cutest little stick person holding onto a rainbow of balloons. This is super easy for anyone of all ages to paint with me, and it's going to be so cute and so inspirational in the end, you will see. With it being Pride Month, we are doing a rainbow of balloons, starting with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And this little happy stick person, you'll see just how happy very soon. Very simple, but very happy. There's two little upside down colons, and a big smile. Now that can be a t-shirt or a dress, you decide. You could put a hat on her, him. You can put pigtails on him or her. You can do whatever you want with your stick person. I just wanted to start off with a simple little template for you to follow, and then you do with it whatever you want. I am outlining all of the balloons. They will be colorful and shiny when we're done. And the t-shirt is going to have a really cool logo on the front as well. I am doing my shirt white. I'm adding glitter to the shirt as well as gold, outlining some of the balloons and the smile and the eyes. You will see and you will fall in love with our little stick person who's happy. You can also change the direction of the arm that's holding the balloons and make it look like this little stick person is floating in the air holding the balloons. But for me, this little person is standing there and proudly holding their rainbow of pride balloons. So sending out love to everyone celebrating this month. I support you all. I love you all. And I love you all for subscribing. You guys are just the best, most supportive group of people I've ever known in my entire life. So I just want you to know how amazing you all are. If you do see some little blank spaces throughout my video, I apologize. I did have a couple of glitches while I was editing. And I also am self-taught in that department as well. So I kind of am not very good at it. So I apologize for any glitches or blank screens you might see. If it's blank and you still hear me talking, that means that it's a mistake I made and it will be back on your screen any moment. Now I am outlining all the balloons in black and then priming them as well as the t-shirt or dress in white acrylic paint. I just want to start off with a bright, bright canvas on those balloons so that each color really stands out. The shirt is going to stay white, but I'm going to add hologram to it, as well as we are going to put gold on here. I don't want to leave out the gold. I'm also going to be uploading a second Pride tutorial today after this one is finished uploading. So if you like rainbows and you like color and you like love, these will be for you. Now, as you can see, I'm putting one coat of each color on the balloons, starting with red at the top. And what I do is I just outline the color and then I'm going to use a sponge. It's a sponge dauber that you can purchase. I've found packages of them for about $8 at Michael's. Or you can get Martha Stewart brand, which is a little more pricey. But basically it's a sponge on the end of a stick and they come in different sizes. And I find it just blends paint on nicely. There's no brush strokes or anything. And it kind of looks airbrushed when you sponge. So it's like my favorite way to paint, as you can probably see in some of my videos. So it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and this is my first coat. I will be putting 2 coats of the color on with the sponge, and I will be outlining everything and cleaning it all up afterwards. So already pretty cute, pretty colorful. like I said, you be creative. It can be a rainbow colored hot air balloon and he's sitting in the basket or she's sitting in the basket of it. Just make sure you can see the t-shirt because we're going to write something cute on there. So now that this first coat is almost dry, we're going to add a second coat. I'm just cleaning up a little bit of the smile there where I went too far with my black paint. I actually use nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol to try and fix any paint mistakes that I make where I don't want them. It's hard when you're trying to keep the natural stone background. You don't want to mess up and leave paint where it shouldn't be. So that's when I get out my nail polish remover. So I'm dabbing on my second coat on the red balloon, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white. And I'm just going to kind of blend so that the top part of the balloon has a little shine to it. And I'm just going to blend that in while the paint is still wet. And then it's just going to kind of look like a shiny balloon when we're done. And I'm going to do that little white bit with the second coat on every balloon. You might not be able to see the color change. It just kind of looks shiny, but there is like a slight bit of white in that red so that it looks like a shiny balloon. You might even be able to see it just from where you are. But I keep going until I'm happy with the shine. And then I move on to my orange balloon. I put on a layer of orange and then I add a little bit of white and I blend that in when it's still wet because that's the best time to blend acrylic paint. Or once it's dry, it doesn't budge. Trust me, it does not budge. So that's it for the red balloon. I'm going to leave it at that. Now with the orange, I've done a layer of orange and I'm adding a little bit of white. And you keep going back and forth until it looks like the way you want it to look. So it looks just kind of like a little bit of sheen on a round, shiny balloon. You can still see through my green paint, but luckily this is when we're doing our second coat that we're making this, we're doing this technique. So it does cover up all your imperfections with that second coat, especially when you use a sponge. Because for some reason, sponges just, they minimize the amount of paint that you need to use in order to get the desired effect, I guess you can say. I love sponges. So I moved on to my green one, add a little bit of white paint up at the top right. I kind of went over the whole top of the green one, but I changed it up with the yellow one. There's just a little bit of shine coming from somewhere on each balloon, which is kind of fun. This is also optional. If you don't feel comfortable doing this part, just keep it a solid red, solid orange, solid yellow. We're going to put a little glimmer of white on them anyway. They'll still look like balloons no matter what. No matter who sees them, they're going to know these are balloons, right? They don't look like lollipops or anything like that. So people are going to know it's a balloon. This is just a technique that I like to do, just kind of make the balloon stand out a little bit more because we want these colors to be important on this stone. So I've worked my way onto my blue one. I will be fixing all my black lines and everything because we've been using sponges and stuff. So I'm going to do cleanup once I'm finished with my blending on my purple balloon. And yes, you don't have to do this part. It's really optional. Same with the t-shirt or dress, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to outline your balloons in gold, but you know I'm going to. But just do whatever you want. I'm just giving you an idea. These balloons are pretty cute, I think. And so is my little stick person. Now I will be making this shiny at the end of the video using resin. Please take a look at my YouTube channel. I have a lot of tutorials that a lot of you didn't even know I had. And some of them show you like 5 or 6 different cool techniques. And like, for instance, a jelly dragonfly. this helps with doing like the balloons. If you know how to do a jelly dragonfly from my tutorials, it'll help you when you do the balloons, for instance. So go back over my channel and see if there's anything there that you want to do first before you try this, or, you know, just keep them in mind of what you want to do next, because there's a lot of fun things for everybody of all ages that we can sit down with our kids, sit down with our parents, sit down with our friends and sip wine. Only you adults. Or coffee. I like coffee. Sit, have a coffee with me, and let's paint together. So I'm just doing my cleanup. I'm not going to sing the cleanup song, guys. I'm just going to say it's cleanup time. I'm making sure that all of my balloons are still nice and outlined, nice and bold, nice and happy, very cute. I didn't try and fit like 6 strings in the poor little guy's hand, but there are a couple of strings that you can see noticeably coming from the balloons. Now here's a step you can try even if you didn't do the blending part to make the balloons look shiny. This part makes it look shiny too. So you just add a little bit of white, a little bloop right across there, and it just looks like there's some light shining off of it and makes them look even more like balloons. Isn't that fun? And look at how happy that little stick person is. Very happy. There you go. Happy with my balloons. Making this green one extra shiny for some reason. There we go. So yes, I will be making it shiny using resin. And if you are confused about resin, check out my channel. I have a very good tutorial that walks you through it. Resin is art resin. The kind that I use is completely non-toxic. It's kid safe. Kids can resin things, and it's food safe completely. So you can eat off of it even. Once it's dry, not when it's wet and sticky. But you can definitely eat off of resin, the kind that I use in my tutorials. So you know it's safe and it's not hazardous for you or your family's lungs while it's drying in your home. It's completely non-toxic. So it's going to make this really stand out, all the colors and the sparkle that I'm about to put in the little t-shirt or dress here. I'm leaving it white because I want to make sure that it's nice and bold. And then it's going to be like sparkling like crazy with this hologram paint. And it's really hard to show you the effects of hologram paint on this video. The video does not do it justice. It just sparkles like diamonds, especially when it's on top of white. So I recommend hologram 2796 to anyone who's never seen it before. Now I'm just putting a little bit of gold in the eyes and in the smile. And then I'm also going to outline the balloons in gold, but I'm going to make sure that it's on the inner part of the black outlining. And the strings that are coming from the balloons will also have a little tiny thin line of gold. My rock, you have to keep in mind that your rocks are going to darken when you seal them. So keep that in mind always. I've had people actually accuse me of painting my rock black and not telling you in the tutorial and be like, okay, so why didn't you tell us that you painted it black? And it's like, no, I didn't paint it black. It goes that dark when I seal it with resin. So if you don't see me do it on here, I didn't do it. Okay, just trust me. So this is going to go a little bit darker when I resin it, but not as dark as a lot of the other stones that you see me using. This is a lighter colored stone. And I wanted to make sure to keep and appreciate the natural background of the stone by leaving the face open and the rest of the stone open. I want to appreciate this beautiful stone. Now here's where we write our awesome inspirational message on our t-shirt. Super simple. Just be you. That's it. Just be you, and I'll support you. And this can be for anyone, not just those of you who are celebrating Pride Month this month. It's for anyone. Just be you. We're allowed to be different. We're all different in so many fantastic ways. And there is nothing wrong with just being yourself. So we couldn't say be yourself. We couldn't say you are enough. We couldn't say any of that, but we could say be you. So if you want to make a bigger shirt or a bigger dress, you can write whatever you want on there as your inspirational message. You can also write it in the balloons if you wanted to. So once this is all sealed up with resin, it's going to be bright and beautiful. The shirt or dress sparkles like diamonds, and all that gold just brings it all together as well. Here we go, guys. You're going to see it all shiny in a minute. It's my favorite part. There. See, it did darken up a little bit. I didn't change the stone. This isn't a different stone. This is just how my rock looks now that I've sealed it. So if you want to see how your stone's going to look, run it under water before you even try painting on it.